Question number 7, Clare Curran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Communications and Information Technology. Does she agree with the Prime Minister that opponents of the proposed GCSB and Telecommunications Interception Capability and Security bills are, quote, politically aligned and misinformed? And if so, are Microsoft and Google, quote, politically aligned and misinformed when they say the Telecommunications Interception Capability and Security bill would slow innovation and economic growth and keep new innovative services out of New Zealand?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with what the Prime Minister actually said, which was that a lot of people who would go along to the protests on the weekend about the GCSB legislation would be A, politically aligned, or B, with the greatest of respect, misinformed. With regards to comments by Microsoft and Google in relation to an entirely separate piece of legislation, no, I don't agree with their views.
Point of order.
Point of order, Clare Curran.
I seek leave to table a...
Order. This is a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek leave to table a list of submitters on the GCSB bill, which link to the Telecommunications Interception and Security.
That list of submitters will be available.
No, point of order, Mr. Speaker. That draw the link between the GCSB bill and the Telecommunications Intercept bill.
It's easy to be resolved. I'll put the leave that that document be tabled. Is there any objection to it? There is. Have the member got
Mr. Speaker,
point of order?
I seek leave to table a list of submitters to the Telecommunications Interception bill which draw the link with the GCSB
Leave
bill.
is so sought. Is there any objection? There is.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
I seek leave to table a list prepared by the Parliamentary Library of the number of media articles that have drawn that link between the two bills.
I think that's getting very marginal, but because it's Thursday, I'll put the leave. There is objection. Does the member have further supplementary?
Supplementary, Mr.
Supplementary
Speaker.
question, Clare Curran.
Is she aware that innovative New Zealand ICT companies such as Catalyst and others preparing to invest in cloud capability say that the TICS and the GCSB bills are creating investment uncertainty and mistrust in New Zealand-based cloud services for overseas customers?
Mr.
Honourable
Speaker?
Amy Adams.
Well, no, I'm not. But what I would say to that member is that she needs to be aware that the obligations on service providers exist under the 2004 legislation that the Labor government passed, and those obligations continue under the proposed TICS legislation that is now before this House. And I would point out to that member that if there is an innovation impact in New Zealand from these, which I don't accept, the same would apply in Australia, in the UK and in the US. We are hardly out of step with the rest of the world in this regard.
Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
Did she consult with major service and technology providers such as Google, Facebook and Microsoft before she brought this current version of the TICS bill to the House? And if not, why not?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Personally, no, I did not.
Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
Does she agree that it is unacceptable that there has been no advice provided by the GCSB to the Select Committee hearing the TICS bill, and that the committee has blocked the GCSB from being asked to appear? And if that is acceptable to her, why is she condoning a process where legislators are expected to make decisions blindfolded?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Well, Mr. Speaker, firstly, the proceedings of the Select Committee are matters for that committee. But no, I'm quite happy with that process because the TICS legislation, well, that might be how it worked under you, Mr. Goff, not under us.
Order.
The TICS legislation
Order.
deals...
Order.
You finished?
Order. Would the Minister please complete the answer?
The TICS legislation relates to the obligations that telecommunications companies have So it is appropriate that they were the focus of the bill and the hearings. They do not in any way, the legislation does not in any way change the right of any agency to access any communication. That will always be dealt with under separate legislative provision and will require a warrant or other lawful authorisation. Nothing in the TICS bill changes that, despite the scaremongering from Chicken Little.
Mr. Speaker.
Point of order. Clare Curran.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
My question was quite specific. It said, does she agree that it is unacceptable?
I heard the
and
question.
I haven't heard an answer.
No, the question was far longer than that, and they had numerous legs to it, and the Minister has addressed that question.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
A point of order, Clare Curran.
Mr. Speaker, I put it to you that the Minister hasn't answered the question, has not addressed the question, she's avoided the question.
Order! I have just ruled, for the benefit of the member, that I consider the Minister has addressed the question. To further raise it is trifling with the Chair, and that is a serious matter. Has the member got a further supplementary?
I have another supplementary, Mr.
Supplementary question, Clare Curran.
Has she sought or received advice on the impact of the TICS bill, on the cost of doing business in New Zealand and its impact on the ICT industry? And if not, why not?
Honourable Amy Adams.
Yes.
Question number 8, Dr Paul Hutchinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the